We've allowed them to come take over our communities. They took the churches away from our communities and built liquor stores. But then wait, they even put liquor in the liquor stores that would attract the young children because we were sleeping. But then the moment we wake up and say, wait, what happened? If we walk outside this door and walk to this corner on 22nd Street, you will look down the block and see there's one house that's occupied by occupants. But the rest of the houses are abandoned. Where were we? Ain't no ghosts come and chase us out of there. We did that because we are the #1 slayers of ourselves. We're the #1 robbers and killers and rapists of ourselves. And because we're doing this, we're losing. It's to the point to where as though we have 1,000 jobs in our community, but 1,000 schools in our community, but our children still coming home dumb. We got a bunch of hospitals, our people are still sick. We have 1,000 police, but crime is still at an all-time high. Why? It's because we're allowing everybody else to come and control us as a people. Mind you, we are the original people of the planet. We were naturally born righteous people, but we've become other than by circumstance. But until we grab hold of the true mission that God had created us to do, until we begin to be the men and women that God created us to be, we're going to continue to fall by the wayside. You understand me? Again, we got so many drugs. It's to the point now they don't even say no to drugs no more. They promote drug abuse on my television. But because I'm not there, I can't tell my daughter, don't take that pill. It's because of my absence, they'll take my 12-year-old daughter out of the schoolhouse and give her an abortion without me knowing. They'll tell my daughter she can't pray in school, but then they give her a morning after pill. It's because of my absence. So therefore, we must grab hold of the knowledge of ourselves. We got to get back into the knowledge of God. Because while we're doing that, because there is an enemy. I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, Catholic, or whatever, but there is one enemy. His aim is to steal, kill, and destroy you. And he's successful at it. He's successful at it. Now, today, it's almost normal to ride on any block in the black community and see a bunch of Blooms and Hennessy bottles saying, rest in peace, young black boy. Saying, rest in peace, young black girl. It's to the point to where we're getting used to seeing young black girls dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Is this not us being set up for a slaughter, but we're the slaughterers of ourselves? So again, now we're talking about no jobs. They won't allow us to get no jobs. They won't allow us to excel to a certain level in so-called corporate America. But the God that I know and love, he said, man, you want it, go get it. He said, if you believe, you can have this mountain move from here to there. If you believe, which means that's telling you about you. He said, if you ain't got a job, create yourself a job. There's jobs to be created. We cry about being broke as a people.
How you doing, man?
We cry about I ain't got it. I ain't never got it. But if you look at the way we dress, we wear millionaires every day. The name of the game ain't getting money. We all get money. But the name of the game is keep your money. I remember back in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a place that was once called Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, which means, how about, it was a community of just black people. I'm not speaking against white, I'm just speaking pro-black. It was just black people who were self-sufficient. We had our own doctors and lawyers and judges. We had our own supermarkets, churches, and restaurants. We had our own business. We had our own bus companies. We had our own everything. Back then, how about today? I'm gonna fast forward the tape to today. Today, the Spanish dollar circulate the community 22 times. The Jewish dollar circulate their community 56 times. The black dollar circulate the community 1/2 time. It's in our community 15 minutes and it's going back. Which means if you give me $1 right now, I'm gonna take it next door and get $1 worth of Lucy's. Back then, the black dollar circulated the community 300 times in a year. You understand me? Which means we kept our money. Now, man, I ain't got no job. I get $50, I'm gonna go take it to the sneaker man. Get a pair of sneakers for that $50. Never mind. We used to talk about piggy banks. You remember that? Where we used to save got a little cigar box under the bed with a little change in it. We don't have that no more because everything is in our face. We can't teach my daughters. I can't teach them the importance of saving $1 because right outside my house is a store that got all types of candy in the window that makes them want to get that candy. Right? But then if we go into another community, I tell you what, go anywhere, 6 exits in any direction, it's not like this. My question is, in the liquor stores, you got malt liquor in there that costs 75 cents. Right? Now mind you, this malt liquor you drink it and make you want to party. It make your foreign parts get like this here when you're ready to lay with a woman. So in that very same thing is something in that thing that I can't produce. I can do the act of, but I can't produce. What is that? Right. We don't question because we're sleeping. We're too busy chilling. You ask the average 35, 40-year-old man, how you doing? How you? I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm mad. We mad, but we ain't mad enough. We're losing our most prized possession, which is the black woman. Yeah. We are. It's to the point to where as though they don't even respect us as men anymore. They would much rather look to another woman for comfort. You understand me? But then us, now talk about homosexuality. I personally myself I don't think I've ever met a homosexual. No. It's just that men fall to their lower desires. If this young fella was being raised by a woman, he's going to take on woman characteristics. When he's upset about something, he's going to suck his teeth and roll his eyes and all that because daddy ain't did it to him. You understand me? Daddy didn't teach him, man, when you upset about something, you kick up. No. We didn't tell him, we were never taught how to utilize the muscles that we have in our bodies. You understand? But because of that, I fall victim to my lower desires now. Talk about lower desires. As a man, we say this fella's gay when he's not gay, he's just soft. Because he was never taught to be hard. Right? But then us men, we feel like we're mighty men. If I can get many women as I want, I feel like I'm him. I'm the truth, like I get hella women. Right? But at the end of the day, I'm still a broken black boy. Something's wrong with that. I remember once upon a time, we used to have a thing called the rites of passage, where us men would take the young boy and show him the importance of manning up.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I ask a quick question. What if that same little boy grew up with a bunch of strong men, show him the right way, show you how to treat a woman, show you how to get a job, show you how to do the right things, and you don't think he have female characteristics? You don't think he'll be gay?
I don't think so. No? I don't think so. See, the thing is, you got to be mindful with young people. Young people are sponges. They're sponges. If you keep forcing this water in this doggone sponge, that sponge is going to consume that water. But you have to be mindful of the water you put in that sponge. So if I take, pardon me, if I take this little sister right here and put her in front of Video Music Box, how about she gonna quote Lil Drake, Nicki Minaj, everybody like scripture? Right. But then you take her from that and put her in school, she's gonna be like stumbling over words, handwriting ain't right, and all this and all of that. So we have to be mindful of what we do in the presence of them children, because Bill Cosby, I love him to death. Bill Cosby came to New Hope Church one day.
He a little bit judgmental,
and he said, people get on him because they say Bill Cosby is putting our trash on the street, like he's airing out our dirty laundry, right? But what he said was, he was like, no, I'm not. He said our trash hit the streets every day around 2:45, 3 o'clock when our children get out of school. If you want to know what type of fella you is, look at how your son carry on. If you want to not know what type of sister you is, look at how your daughter carry on. I remember when we used to tell a sister, when women used to tell young girls, baby, safeguard your chastity. Everybody don't deserve that. They used to do that. But now it's we graduated into saying, you mean to tell me you was with this joker all day and you coming back here hungry? What is that teaching her? So he can get your goods as long as he buy you a pocketbook and some earrings. How about that?
You know, each individual is different, because you can teach a child everything. That child walk out that door and they get with certain people, peer pressure, as with this and then this, and it'll turn a person. Like I tell I tell a brother and sister all the time, I'm like, you know what? Let me tell you something. You can go. Every other block you go, basically, you're going to see a church, a funeral home, a liquor store. Why is that?
Our hood.
Yeah, why is that? But what's the biggest businesses in the game right now? It's jail, liquor store, funeral homes. Right. They're going to go get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might kill them. We're going to take them to that church for their last viewing, and then their last ride will be that cemetery. So they're getting drunk, go to the church, we're going to bury you.
So is the church big business? Is church big business?
Big business too.
Absolutely. Please, can I just piggyback off the pastor thing? According to my book, there's a book we call the Holy Bible, the 66 caliber. But in that book, it says that when Jesus told his disciples to go to a land, he said, go over there and tell them what I taught you. Don't take no money, no food, no clothes, no nothing. Just preach the word. Preach the word and you'll get everything that you need. That's what the book says. So how about being a pastor? That's a job. Right now, if a joker misuse his abilities, God will deal with that. I don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in, so I don't judge a pastor. Just like I don't judge a gay person. I ain't got no hell to put nobody in. I got my own stuff. You understand me? But maybe my stuff ain't homosexuality, but we have to be mindful as a people because we do a bunch of that. We do a bunch of them people over there. We don't be held accountable for our people.
Yeah, but that's not just black people. Everybody judge each other.
Right, everybody.
And we got to learn to stop doing that.
We have to do that. We have to stop judging. The Bible says judge righteously. But he said don't judge unless you're ready to be judged.
Right.
So therefore, we have to be mindful of what we do. Now, speaking about this brown-skinned fella, bald-head fella here, I am not going to look in your stuff and start judging yours knowing mine ain't right. I can't do that. I'm not going to tell you, listen, man, you know you ain't supposed to be shoving that powder in your nostrils, but I'm all in the liquor store throwing them up. So I can't do that.
But,
so
but that's
again,
another reason why people have so much hatred against pastors, though.
That's something they got to deal with. See,
Because the pastor sit up there, he'll read the Bible.
Well,
then, when his own views, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that.
Brother,
You know what I mean? But next thing you know, he messing with little girls, he messing with men.
Guess
You
what?
know what I mean? He doing this.
Guess what?
He's getting your money. He's taking your tithes, buying a new car.
Dealt with
You understand that?
accordingly, right?
But that's
And
why
I
a
know
lot of brothers
exactly
don't want to
what
go
you're
to church.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of brothers don't want to go to
Right.
church. They want to hear the word, but I don't want you to take my money.
Okay, well then listen.
Because as soon as before you crack that book open, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what y'all gotta come around.
But you don't have to roll it. You don't have to roll up. You don't have to roll up in the church to find the word. You don't have to roll up in the house of God to find the word. When you go to a church, you're gonna find what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for people over here that's rowdy, you're gonna find them. If you're looking for the girls that's gonna go out there and do this and do that, you're gonna find them. You're gonna find some of everything up in the church. But when you go up in the church, you're supposed to go up in there with one thing and one thing only on mind. You're going up in there to praise God. You ain't going up in there to find it, but it's there.
Well,
It's there. I heard a preacher say, you know what, and he said, you know what? He said, working for God don't pay well. He said, but the benefits is out of this world. Now, do I think he should have said that? Hell no. Still some things that I think you could refrain from saying even if you meant that.
Right.
This might not be the ideal platform for you to say that. Because people going to take it and run with it. And you know, like I know, when people take things and run, mostly our people, they ain't going to take it and run with it for the good. You know what I'm saying? They're going to add on. So by the time you get to that front door there, you know what I'm saying? It done been about 2 or 3 different add-ons to what he said. And it's blown out of context as soon as you walk away from it. If you don't ask him to explain what he mean, then by the time you get to that door, it's gonna be all blowed up. And don't get down the block. Somebody gonna you was there. Somebody gonna come and tell you what was said and don't have a clue the context that he put in.
But check it out, like these big time pastors, like TD Jakes, Cleflo Dollar, they got millions and stuff like that. TD Jakes got books, movies, all this other stuff. Now, I mean, I heard I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody approached TD Jakes. You know how poor Detroit is. Detroit is going through it. They don't got no jobs. They don't got. I mean, that's like the poorest state in America right now. So they just going through it. Somebody asked TD Jakes to come down here and talk to the people. Now they said that TD Jakes said that he want, all right, I want a certain amount of money. He said, well, we can't afford to give it to you, so he ain't come down there at all. Now TD Jakes, as far as the word, he's great. He's a great speaker and everything, and people probably really need that. Now, but he asked for money.
Let me
He
tell you
asking for
something,
money.
right? They got a reality show on TV. Just started. It's called LA Preachers. Pastors, the preachers of LA.
And you about the word you should have a show like
You
that.
got here it is. You got a couple of preachers that got churches with $6,000 congregation members. And one preacher talking about he got 2 churches. He said, you know what? He said God didn't just mean for Jay-Z and them to be filthy rich. You know what I'm saying? This is what he says.
The Bible says that.
You know what I'm saying? But this is my thing. If you're really out for the people and everything, bro, you don't want to walk in front of people that you know struggling and everything. You flashing with all kind of jewelry, diamonds and stuff like that.
But you know,
and then
he's a pastor.
Yeah, come on, listen.
But you know what, brother? Hold up. I have to say something. The Bible clearly states, pay attention to the message, not the messenger. Hold up.
Right.
In North alone, there's 1,500 churches in North. Right? Now, mind you, we have a bunch of churches in our community, but how about we need them? How about there's a bunch of broken people in our community? Wait, I'm going to go into this church and I'm going to find out that sister up there that's praising real hard, she's a whore. She in church trying to shake that thing off of her though. That brother over there, he just killed such and such last week. But he in church, he trying to fix it. So I can't sit in the church house and judge that man of God up there because God called him to do that. I ain't got a heaven or hell to put him in. So I must be mindful of what I'm doing and what I'm saying about the man of God. The Bible says take your mouth off him. God to deal with it, but God to deal with you too. So again, if I can come, the Bible, hold up, where there's 2 or more gathered in my name, and there I am also in the midst. So church is right here.
Exactly.
But we have to be mindful of what we do. We have to put that side aside for God, which means in this time, okay, I understand I'm a bum, I'm homeless, and I stink and all that, but then I'm a I got a problem with that powder and the alcohol and the pills. I got a problem with that. But this set aside time here is for my Lord. He said, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. So whatever you choose to make your Sabbath, keep it holy. I'm not going to go and not name one of these institutions of spiritual enlightenment and judge any one individual that's sitting in there because they in there for a reason. Now, we have to be mindful of when your car get broke, where you take it to? The people that made it. When you don't feel good, you go to the hospital. But when you spiritually dying, where do you go? Church. Right. So we have to be mindful that it's broken people in the building and we all in there together.
Sure.
So, but at the end of the day, when it's prayer time, you see that same broken joker, that sister, they everybody praying. Which means we trying to pray something off ourselves. You have to be mindful, y'all. We gotta not forget.
So basically,
the big
gotta get rid of that judgment.
We gotta do away with that.
That's the first thing got to go.
We have to do away with that because while I'm sitting here paying so much attention unto you and your whoremongering ways, my daughter is in the backseat of somebody's Cadillac pecking at somebody's crotch. My son on somebody's corner doing all sorts of stupid stuff with his fingers, looking for acceptance because daddy's is too busy judging folk.
But at the same time, judgment is hard to get away from your spirit as homosexuality, as all the other negative, sinful things that we do.
But again, this too shall pass.
All right, for example, we was at the church. Pastor Monroe was talking about this. If a man came and killed your whole family, right? They catch him, put him in jail. They're gonna give him the death penalty. They say, could you be a strong enough man not to judge that man and say, no, I want to take him into my life and show him Jesus? Can you do that without judging that man? Say it like this young lady right here. She real and strong in her faith. Maybe she can do that. Maybe you can't.
Bob, that's what
you very intelligent what you're saying,
right?
But you probably can't do that.
But the thing is, again,
you understand what I'm saying?
But even my last response to that would, to God be the glory. How about it's to the point now, because it would be easy for me to retaliate the way that it came to me. It would be easy. But if I'm trying to win souls for a kingdom, I have to be mindful of. That's why the Bible says, "Be slow to speak, slow to wrath." You got to slow down. You understand? Again, I can give you the Christian answer, and we'll be, I don't forgive him, so I can be forgiven. No, but then as a man, Christ
as an example.
Right. So then,
Christ as an example.
Again,
he laid his life down for us sinners.
He laid his life
But
down.
we can. There are people who can do it. Not everybody, but people. People out there who will do it.
Well, as a Christian, our role is to be Christ-like.
Exactly.
So we would have to try to do it at least.
Some of us have the strength to do it, some don't. Some have the strength to do it, some don't. But the Christian way of doing things is to forgive. No matter what happened, we gotta forgive. And we gotta be open-minded about stuff, you know? Yeah.
Any situation coming against us, because we are human, and the fleshly part of us kick in. So that's why we have to allow the spirit man inside of us to be in control. To be in control, staying in the word all the time, calling upon his name, because your flesh is already trained to do the wrong thing. And it is already trained to be angry. It's already trained to flip in a second. That's why you can't even trust your very self. But you got to trust God that the faith that he gives us, that it will grow every day. You understand? Because even myself as a Christian, I can for one moment boast and say, oh, I'm saved. Oh, I ain't going to do this. No. You got to ask God to help you, to keep your mind stable on him. Because the enemy is always seeking whom he shall devour. You understand? He have the authority. You understand? But we have to know that don't play with the gift that God give us. He gave us salvation. Don't play around with it, because that's where we make the mistake. The pastors, and when you see the man of God and everybody that fall, they're human. If you see your brother and sister falling, don't point fingers. God asks you to pray them up. Because today might be them, but you don't know for you tomorrow. So you don't watch them what they do. You just pray and ask God to help them, strengthen them, show them the way, keep them. That's why we have to pray for our pastors and our brothers and sisters before they fall. Because God shows us things and we ignore it. Sometimes you sleeping and you dream about Tom. Oh, why I'm dreaming about Tom? You know why? To get up and pray for Tom.
It's not by works of righteousness that we can do these things. Not by our own works of righteousness, but by his grace. His grace made us strong to withstand situation and to deal with problems. Because we're all human beings, and human beings have problems. You know, every single person on the face of this earth. But it is all to deal with problem when problem arise. We need his grace, his mercy, his guidance to deal with it.
Minus that, being as though we are striving to be mighty men of valor. When I say that I'm a mighty man of valor, that makes me know and everybody else know that I kind of know about my Lord.
Yeah.
And in his book, he said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Amen.
And every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn.
Preach on.
Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Right. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. Isn't this what the book said?
Yes.
So with that being said, we got to be mindful that see the difference between saved folk and and unsaved folk is the saved people got help. We got help, but we never use it. Right. Let me talk about that. Someone said, yeah, we got a car. We get the car tuned up every week.
Yeah.
Never drive it. Bang an insurance policy. Never drive the car. We in church every Sunday morning, saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, baptized in fire, running for our life. Yeah, we claim that with our mouth. But then you check my ways and actions. We still got ways and actions of a savage. You understand me? Like we say, I'm saved by grace right now and this and that, but then something happens to us, we'll forget our salvation and act the way that we used to act. But being a servant of God, we have to be mindful all the time And I'm not trying to be on no, I'm not trying to sound religious. I'm not a fan of religion at all. Religion was brought forth to control masses of people, and I believe that. I believe that my enemy, which is the devil, utilizes religion to separate us as a people. There's power in numbers. You and I together are a mighty force, sir. But because I've allowed somebody from the outside to separate our beliefs, when we believe in the one true and living God, I need your help, you're not going to help me. Or you need my help, I'm not going to help you. We forgot about the importance of brotherhood. Because we have no brotherhood, we're losing our lives at an alarming rate. We're burying black babies every day because we are separated as a people. Because you say assalamu alaikum and I say praise the Lord, we don't mess with one another.
You understand me? They're killing each other.
And then you get some religious individuals. Can I talk about the religious individuals? Can I do that? Can I talk about, I'm 16 years, me being 15 and 16 years old, and I was coming up in the house under a religious individual. That religious individual was quoting scriptures to me while they was putting me out at 15 years old, turning me over to that thing, the streets, because nobody's teaching me, so I'm gonna do what the streets is doing. So you turned me over to this thing, but you quoting scriptures to me, so that's one strike. I'm frowning against the church.
Right. And he said
on
religious.
Right.
There's a difference.
Right. And on the flip side of that,
people who portray it, but they don't really live it. Religious.
And that's another reason why.
It's a difference between religious folks and set aside folks.
and on the flip side,
We got good Muslim out there. We got good Jews out there. We got good Christians. It's the morals, man. I believe it's the morals and art. And we approach things and deal with situation and treat your fellow brother. Come on, man, we human beings, you know. We brothers, sisters, it doesn't matter. Cause we here, yeah, we Christian, of course. But we're not here to talk against religion. We're here for show love.
That's it.
Support.
And with that being said, like I said, I'm 15 and I'm coming up under, I'm being raised by this religious lady. She's quoting scriptures, and in the same action, she's kicking me out, turning me over to the streets. And then the Assalamu Alaikum thing. My father was saying Assalamu Alaikum when he was beating my mother to death. So I'm frowning against religion already. But then what else there am I to do? Because I've been introduced to religion. Nobody ever said anything to me about spirituality. Right. Nobody ever said nothing to me about the knowledge of myself. I don't know who I am, that's why I act like you. I don't know who I am, that's why I walk and talk and dress and eat like you. You understand? And the sad but true fact is, 85% of us suffer from that. Then you got a percentage of us that know truth, that know, but don't go to the sick and suffering. We don't go out to the highways and byways and bring them in. I love the church. Because right now, if you can focus your attention over here, we got a bunch of beautiful black women and they're feeding everybody. They just ask you to put your name down. They didn't ask you what's your religion, where you from, what part of the planet where you born. They don't do that. They say put your name right there, baby, get your food.
All right, can I give you a couple of tracks? Can I give you a couple of these? Okay, enjoy
Yeah, we got the TV on rolling, right? And they keep talking about this Ferguson riots that's going on over there in Missouri, St. Louis and stuff like that. About the brother Michael Brown who just got shot. Now I was recently reading on Google that the brother, well not the brother, but the guy who shot him, Darren Wilson, he said that Michael Brown swollen his eye, you know, messed his cheekbone up. He was beating him up. That's why he pulled his gun out and started shooting. Now, let me ask you a quick question. I mean, like with police brutality, do you think that they always abuse their power?
Well, I mean, I don't think that they always abuse their power, but I think in that instance, I think that he abused his power because, I mean, with so many things that he could have done prior to shooting him to avoid shooting. You get what I'm saying? But no, I don't think that they always abuse their power. I mean, there's a few police officers out there that do their job, you know what I mean, and identify with the community because they're from the community. I know a few personally, but as far as that individual, I don't know him. You know what I mean? But I think that, you know, I think they get tasers and pepper spray and things of that nature. I mean, it should be an order to, you know, what you do before you pull out that gun, except under extreme conditions, you know?
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, they say we tired of marching, we tired of just saying things and they're not listening to us, but they still beating us up, throwing us in jail for no reason. You know, just beating our brains out. A lot of people just tired of this police brutality.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm gonna ask this brother right here, what do you think? That you think a lot of cops abuse? I guess my microphone is too loud.
You don't need the mic.
Don't we even need a microphone? Matter of fact, we bring it down. Do you think a lot of police abuse their power?
Well, I think you give anybody that kind of power, they're going to abuse it.
Right.
But my thing is, I look at a bigger picture than just police brutality, because it's all about taking control of your community. That's where I see it at. You take that Ferguson, Missouri, for example. The report says that Ferguson is about 70% black, but yet the mayor is white. There's not one black person in the city council. The educational board is all white. Out of 53 police officers, only 3 of them are black. So to me, that to me says that
You're not voting.
complaining don't get you anywhere.
Right.
And that's what we do the best, complain, as black folks.
So
my thing is, protest to me is just another form of complaining. Because you're just out there protesting, raising a riot, and nothing is ever gonna change. So if you don't go out there and take voting, because to me, in a democracy, voting is your only true form of protest that actually matters, that actually could make a change.
Right.
So if you're not out there voting and taking care of and trying to build a community of your own for your own people, then you can't complain about police brutality because you bring in a white man to patrol a so-called black neighborhood, and they can relate to how we live and how we feel and how we dress. We always a suspect to them. So until we change that, the big picture where we rely on white America to supply us with everything of substance, we always gonna have those problems.
Right.
Those problems ain't never gonna change.
So you.
In regards to the incident in Ferguson, as far as I'm concerned, first of all, whether or not Michael Brown did anything or not, a lot of those reports are being debunked anyway, minute by minute, second by second. The story is always changing. That does not excuse the fact that his hands were up and he was unarmed. And so as far as I'm concerned, yes, in that sense, he did abuse his power, and it is making it tough for those police officers who do want to do well. In fact, I read a story, came across a story where 3 of the new Port Authority police officers, they just had the graduation ceremony. 3 of them have families, well, some of their elders were some of the police officers who lost their lives in 9/11. You're making it harder for them to do well for their community, do well for their legacy, because you got some cops who are just abusing their power all over the place. And as far as taking control of the community is concerned, I do agree that we as a people need to do better in terms of taking control of our own communities and making sure we have those leaders up there. At the same time, there are certain systems in place to where you got some people who have said some of the worst white supremacists I've ever seen are black. So you gotta keep that in mind as well. We can vote people who look like us in all you want, but if they're taking up those same systems that are oppressing us, then what's the point?
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in what goes around comes around? Because getting back to the Michael Brown thing, when they said before that situation happened, he was already in the store, strong arming and taking what, some food or something like that. So when he came outside,
Stop right there. Stop right there. First of all, regardless of what he did in that store, and by the way, the people who own that store, they never filed an incident report. They never filed a report, so it doesn't even matter. But regardless, and some people are saying that wasn't even him, but regardless of what happened in that store, hands up unarmed, hands up unarmed. It does not give you the right to shoot him 6 times, 2 of them upside the head, through the head. It doesn't give you an excuse to fire like that. When you got other,
they shot to kill.
Yeah, that was a shoot to kill.
That wasn't you know, any warning shots. That was, you know, let's take him. He got to go down.
I feel you. See, the thing is, I sympathize with that, but How many times and how many black men that got killed by police in America for us to realize it don't matter what we say. Hands up, don't shoot. I don't care what the so-called protest lingo of today is. They stuck Admiral Lima in the ass with a broom handle. It don't matter. That's what they do.
Just a week before, we have to Eric Garner.
What matters is voting, taking control of your own community. That's the only thing that matters in America, bro. That's the only thing that matters in this country. Right. If you have control of your community, then if there is a white officer in that community, if that community is black, that officer will think twice before he'll shoot an unarmed black man.
Let me ask you a question.
Because he knows the repercussions that's going to come behind that.
Let me ask you a question. You say voting is the answer. Now, I don't say I don't disagree with you about that, but like, you know, like if you voting in the mayor, you voting in the governor, voting in the president, we don't vote for police officers. We don't hire them ourselves. How do you know a police officer is a power driving person? Like when as soon as he hit the streets, yo, if somebody disagree with me, I'm gonna smack them up or throw them in jail.
You're 100% right.
We don't know they're gonna do that.
You're 100% right. But the thing is, the person you voted in hires those police officers.
Right.
If you don't participate, you can't complain when you can't get nothing out of the system. If you vote, like the prosecutor on the case, for example, they want him to recuse himself. He has history of racist tendencies, abusing his power. But when the election was up for him to get reelected or for the town to have a choice and who their prosecutor was, the turnout was in the black community was 6%. So what are you complaining about? You asking this man to recuse himself from the case and remove himself from his job that he got lawfully elected to do, and now you want him to recuse himself because you unhappy of how you think he might judge a case.
But do you think that some of these cops, when they do things like that, in that situation, especially with the Eric Garner, who choking them out, they should have some penalty for that, right?
Of course. You commit a crime.
But some of them get away with it
all the time.
But
we're a nation of laws.
But when you're a cop, you get away with a lot of stuff.
No, but the thing is, if you're an officer, and you might not even have to be an officer. If you work in a small town, let's say, right, and you're an officer, and the town is majority, let's say, white, and you commit a crime against a black person, when you go to court, the prosecutor is going to be white, the judge is going to be white. All those superiors are supposed to come down on you and give you the penalty for that crime you committed. It's like you. Right. They're not like the person you committed the crime against. So they would feel more comfortable to judge in your favor because they look like you. They can relate to you. They can relate to the victim.
white boy made a bad choice.
They don't know anybody that looks like the victim. Right. So how could you want? See, that's why I said you might not like what I say about this thing.
Right. Oh, okay.
Because my thing is, a black America is big on equality, looking for, equal opportunity under the law, which is what America really was founded on.
Right.
But my thing is, we wasn't part of that as black folks. How could you want your oppressor to give you rights? Why would your oppressor give you rights? Why would your oppressor give you freedom? What's in it for them?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I look at the big picture, because I could go out there right now and get beat up by the police, and we're living in Newark, supposedly a black city.
But you don't blame them? You don't blame the police officer?
I blame the police officer as an individual, but it's a systematic thing. If you know you're not gonna get punished for whooping on or shooting innocent black people on the street, then there's nothing never gonna change because you know there's no punishment hanging over your head for that.
But that's the thing. That's why we had in the news. That's why people got the cameras up. And that's why we talking about it. So they could try to make it that they stop doing this because they got to have some type of penalty if you do something that's like that. Because I get what you're saying. If he get away with that guy choking Eric Garner over here, and that guy get away, Brown shooting the other guy up, and everybody keep getting away with it, hey, I might as well do it too.
Hey, you know what the brother said the other day about this? You never hear a black cop shooting an unarmed white teen. You know why? Because we already know the consequences and repercussions behind that type of action from us. So at the end of the day, what he's saying is the exact same thing, man. They already know. This is a white America, and if you go upside a nigga head, you know what I'm saying? It's a good possibility you're gonna get off with it. We gonna make some rules.
So if we change the tables around, and it was a black cop,
it will never
you know
happen.
what I mean? Black, like Tyrese Black.
It will never happen.
He's in the suburbs. And he shot a white skateboard team.
It would never happen.
And he shot him down for whatever reason.
Statistically, it's probably
never
happened in history.
This says say it did happen. What do you think will be the repercussions of that?
Yo, they gonna put him in jail. He'll be sitting in jail now.
So it's like it's impossible.
That won't happen.
It never will happen.
Yo, we talking about Ferguson right now. We can, off the top of our heads, without Googling, without any research, we probably could name amongst us right now 10 black men that have been killed by the police.
Right.
In probably the last 5 years. Name one white boy that got killed by a black cop.
What is?
In history.
In history?
In history. I'll wait.
Well, we definitely got to Google that. We definitely got to
Google that. You know what I mean? In history.
Some black cop had to kill a white boy.
Exactly, but we can think of one.
We can't
even think of one that happened. Not think of the name of the victim, not think of the name of the town,
I never even thought of that though.
The city. We can't even think of one case.
Well, a black cop that's killing a white kid.
And got away with it. There's not one case out there.
Well, I gotta wrap this up. This was a great conversation. Thanks, brother.
What's up, baby? I hope I ain't offend nobody out there. I love my people. I'm black. I love black people. But I just need us to
the truth is the truth.
Go beyond the normal thinking of what we're gonna do against the police brutality and protesting and all blah blah blah. That's not gonna get us anywhere, man. Go out there and start voting. That's the only really repercussion against
and hope we get
against
the right
America.
politicians in it that's going to fight for our community.
Right.
And then organize, because I don't rule out the idea of rioting. It's way past due. I just think that they aren't organized about it. Yo, I figure also if it gets to be way out of hand, they get to killing more of us, then an eye for an eye. And I'm saying that.
Bleed out, burn down.
Malcolm X.
That's it. All right, bro.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Word is out, baby. We laying it down like mayonnaise, like always.
Oh, you got that good love, that ain't not kind of love, yeah. Oh, you got that good love, that ain't not a kind of love. It's like I'm really feeling a good style. Oh, you got that good love, that ain't not a kind of love, yeah. For the first time, I noticed some things, asking myself, if this really be my eyes closed tight. Think I saw you, heart turned cold. I used to hear tears fell down. They're all going away. I put my guard down. I knew it happened one day. Never did I think that love would be nice. He put out a fire that burns you. It's like I'm really feeling a good sound. Oh, you got that good love. Focus for all of the pain that you feel. You make me a choice, and that's why you stay. Oh, you got that good love, that ain't not the kind of love. It's like I'm really feeling a good style. Oh, you got that good love, that ain't not the kind of love. Yeah. Oh, you got that good love, that is so good, so good. Yeah. say that one day I will be your lady. So way you that good love. I never noticed. No, never came. Why you stay? But I'm really good. So good, so good. Yeah. So good, so good. Oh, you got that good love. That good love. If he got it, then know he got it. If she got it, then know she got it. If he got it, then know he got it. If she got it, then know he got it.
My name is Andre Davis, and I am a singer, actor, songwriter from New Jersey. I've been doing it now for a little over 10 years. How did I actually come into this business? Well, it wasn't always a dream of mine. I thought about it when I was younger. My grandmother would make me sing, but my goal at that time was to work for the post office, ironically, because my family all worked for the post office. So I thought I was going to work at the post office and become a manager and happily ever after. It wasn't until college, one of the females I was dating, she was doing a play, and they needed a guy who could act and sing. So I went down just, you know, following her, and I got the part. And from there, a couple of other directors saw me, and so I was cast into a couple of different other plays, and from there I got bit by the bug. I got my first deal when I was about 25 with Easy Deuce Records. It's an independent Newark-based label, and from there I was able to open up for some of the best in R&B, including Patti LaBelle and Tina Marie, Jaheim, Tank. Did a lot of work with the radio station, did some work with Andy Williams. And now I'm just working on my next EP that's slated to be released in the spring of 2014. Still with the same management, actually, when I started. Darren Dowdy, he's been great the entire way. We've had our ups and downs like any relationship, like any manager-artist relationship. And, you know, I know now that it was really because of me being too eager at the time. But the good thing is, you know, I have somebody in my corner that definitely has my back, that definitely wants the best for me. So I was glad that we were able to reconnect. While we were together, though, I did put out my first album, which is entitled A New Song. The single, What I Gotta Do, which was the single that we pushed. We did a video for it.
I know I messed up with that other girl. Should've never let her in our world. And I realized what I did was wrong. But let me explain. Now hold on. There's no excuse for me to cheat. But you gotta know that I'm sorry. And I'm ready to make it up to you. Whatever I gotta do, don't you go. Baby, stay with me. Baby, stay with me. Don't you walk away. Give me so much pressure, go where you are. One step forever, and ever go. You are. Don't want you to go. No, do not. To show you just how much I
It wasn't central, it was BTJ. It was picked up on BTJ, a bunch of different other stations. It played on WBLS for the summer that it was released, so we were able to do some great things, man, and I'm looking forward to doing even more with this next EP, which is entitled Shades of A. It'll be coming out next year, and I use Shades of A because it's going to kind of reflect a couple of different genres, but I'm doing them all my way. So that's where I came up with the name Shades of A. Looking to do some more shows. We have some things lined up for 2014 that are just about solidified, but not just yet, so I can't release them too soon. But things like R&B Spotlight, like I was blessed to be able to do an R&B Spotlight. I opened up for Little Mo, sent the video in. Corey Taylor, who's the founder of R&B Spotlight, he saw it, he had me on, and it was a blessing. And it was a great show.
But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, because we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow.
You know, like any other show, we have our mishaps, and there were some mishaps there, but we got through it. We got through it.
I can taste the honey that's in your jar. For the biggies that hit the floor. If less is more, take a little bit more of it. Take a little bit more of it. Take a little bit more of it. Take a little bit more. You need to focus less on the past, more about us. My sticks in park too long, tanks full, I'm ready to bust. Your road's wide open. Baby, don't leave, wait, I'm just joking. Hard to get only words, but you're hanging out your skirt and
And so yeah, I'm just looking forward to 2014. I've been blessed this year to do a lot of plays. I've done a lot of theater this year. After the Walk, Underneath It All, featuring Kiara Sheard. Just a ton of plays this year that kept me working, kept me busy. And hopefully 2014, what I'm looking to do is combine that along with reintroducing my music. So 2014 should be a pretty busy year for me. As far as the CD, like a new song, I really draw a lot of inspiration from older singers. Like my biggest inspiration is Donny Hathaway. Following Donny Hathaway would be Stevie Wonder. So I like that old school, that soul sound. And that was reflected on a new song where we tried to, I worked with a new group of producers, they were called the Cavemen, and what we did was we combined that old school soul with new school, and that's where New Song came from. So those are really my biggest inspirations. With Shades of A, it's still going to be soulful because that's just me, I'm a soulful singer. But it's not so more a combination as it is just me doing me. It wasn't really strategic. It was very organic. If I felt it, we did it. You know, really is no better way to put it. I didn't go into it with a game plan. It was just, if a song came to me, however it came out, we recorded it, and they just so happened to be different. So I'm looking forward to this because it'll show my supporters a different side.
What in heaven, oh, our Father said he never leave, oh, our Father. Let's go. Our Father who art in heaven. I've been quoting these scriptures since I was 7, putting God first in everything I do. Sometimes forgetting that others need love too. Yeah. But what can I say? His son died for me that everyone in the world can live peacefully. That just shows we have a righteous and just God, so that we can all just drop that I've been hurt facade.
He's the one who kept us all. And he created us too, as I recall, but many people neglect the fact, sometimes forgetting to keep their lives intact. He don't ask for much, just other simpler things. Call him what he is, the King of Kings. There is no doubt in my mind, I think death is a horrible thing, but because of God, he turns everything into something to sing. I love my Creator, and there's no one greater, and I'm proud to call him my Father, my Savior. Oh, our Father.